Hey, it's Mack with PriceActionTradingSystem.com. And it is Thursday. It's February 9th. This will be our chart lesson for today. And this will wrap our week up. No chart lessons on Friday. And we won't be back again until Monday. But I'm doing a little early today. So most of you prefer to have it a little earlier. I'm trying to do it earlier. I can't always get in here and get it done in time. But I'm trying to do it earlier these days. But let's get to the chart lesson. Nice uptrend. It wasn't really clear it was going to be a real strong trend until we bounced here, right here, and then it was all uphill after that. And when it starts looking like this, you really just have to look for reasons. You just have to look for reasons to enter, because if you wait on um, a perfect setup, you may not ever get one. But that does lead to issues like here. Of course, there's not a great setup here, really, anyway. Um, but there is a second entry long right here, and if you'd have taken this one, you'd have had a loser. And even if you took the one that looks like it's bouncing pretty close off the EMA here, well, you actually wouldn't have had a loser there. But that's not a very good signal bar, and um, it was obviously we were correct in here. We were overshooting this upper side by a good bit here. So the key is you're probably either going to come up short or you're going to get a little overshoot equal. And notice we did get a little, pretty much equal overshoot on this side as we had here, and then it bounced again before we actually. This is actually a two-legged correction here. You got one leg correction, another leg. And there's actually multiple swings within those legs, but the key is if you went to a bigger part, is chart, you just see two legs there with a correction in the middle, and generally that will lead to another move again. So, but anyway, let's back out, talk about the trades, and we'll wrap up today. I need to get out here early, so I'm going to try to do this. It's one reason I'm doing it early today. But notice here we had a nice failed second entry short here. Notice the low here, and then this is actually not a new swing low, but this is such a big move, and notice you're moving up, you get a first entry short, you're moving up, you get a second entry short, and it didn't break higher till here. You actually had another little move down and a little trap there, and look at all that support there, and we traded up into that, so we're probably going to be successful going out. So I like that one. We aren't quite back to the EMA yet, so that's the reason I made it green and not blue. Um, there's not a lot of room before that high. Of course, the overnight high is over here, and you probably do have enough room for that. But it would have worked out. And if you weren't in, I'd enter here, and I wouldn't be afraid to add on here, because this bounces right off that uh, trend line that you draw right here off those two closes. And this does turn out to be the low of the morning. And notice what happens. You could really treat this like a double bottom. And there's a first entry short right there. You get a little pullback, second entry short, and it goes higher again. So this actually broke lower here and traded down for a little bit before it turned and went out the upper side. With that being right off that key entry point, the EMA in there too, the fact that it's a trap and all, I made that one blue. It's close to being green because there's not a lot of room, and you got a double top. This is actually a breakout pullback. It actually went one tick higher here, so it's kind of like a breakout pullback long too. So yeah, you got to be concerned. It's always questionable if you enter without enough room to scalp out, and you certainly don't have but a tick or two before that high. But with all the other reasons I just explained, I think that one was worth risking, and it turns out to be a great trade. And then notice there's another little double bottom right there. So that's like a new low. You're moving up first entry short, moving up second entry short. Again, and that's two legs up. And so it's another short trap, basically, is what it turns out to be. But the reason I didn't feel comfortable making this in blue is because it's right into that midline. And the last few times we've touched that, most of the times we've touched that, we've turned down. I really thought we'd probably might take on off to the upper side, but it never does. We don't. It's so the market is actually so strong that we can't get back to the trend line. So, but on the other hand, I mean, it's so strong, it can't even get back to the EMA really. So, um, and we just keep going higher and higher. And you notice how we got all these little bars, lots of dojis, and it doesn't go very far and pulls back, but it just keeps going, going, going. That is a strong trend. And doesn't look like it, but it is. So whenever you spot that kind of trend, you just really got to look for reasons to enter. You really do, because you won't ever get a perfect setup. So, but I like that one. And then of course, notice that we got another little breakout pullback short right here. Um, it's a breakout pullback long from that high as well, and it did try to go lower first. So this is really like a little double bottom, first entry, second entry. So you could treat that. That's a good enough reason to say, hey, that looks like a trap, failed second entry, short, and guaranteed there's going to be the top pickers trying to pick a top, and they just get trapped, and it goes, makes another move up. Then it pulls back, and you definitely got a double bottom here. So first entry, second entry, another chance to enter. And at this point, you know this thing's strong. Um, I mean, every time you get a chance to enter, just enter. Here's another one. This one I made green. I was a little bit, we've been moving for a while now. Plus, you got a lot of sideways action more than you got a correction like here and here. There is at least one doji in there, 3 bars stacked up. So that's a little bit of congestion. So I really thought there we might get a little trap and come on back, but no, it goes on higher. And then we finally get a trap here. Notice the new high, pull back first entry, you pull back second entry, and it fails, and it comes on down. And, you know, the only thing I would say is that we were just we'd finally gotten a long way away from the EMA, and we were way overdue to come back. And so if you did enter here, you would have had a loser. And that's what happens. People will watch most of these, and they finally say, oh, you know, this is a strong trend, I better get in. And this is where they'll get in, and they get trapped. And that's just what happens. So that's why you don't pick and choose, and you just have to start taking all these, because if you've done that, you don't even need to enter here. You've probably already made all your money, and you're done. So, but needless to say, if you entered on that second entry, you had a loser. And there's nothing to distinguish that one from really any of these others. But all the rest of them worked. So that's why you can't sit there and wait too long and try to pick and choose, because something like that will happen. You know, when you start getting a strong trend, just take, if you got a reason to enter, you're just looking for reasons to enter. So, but this one comes on down. We do bounce off the trend line here, but notice how that's more of a bearish signal bar. Let me make it a little bigger. It might be hard to see. That signal bar is not very good. And notice it ticks up. And we do get a close outside that little channel. And we tried to move to a new low, and then it went higher. This is not a very good signal bar either. But this little bitty tiny one here with the matching tops, if it broke above that, right here at the trend line, I figured we'd go on higher. I really thought we'd probably move higher than that. But, and this is why we only go for 4 ticks. You can't go for 1 tick more, because it got just enough. It moved just 5 ticks, enough to get out, and then it reverses again. And I would be looking for a minimum of a measured move like this right here once we go lower. And you can see we actually moved about a measured move and then pushed down one more time and trapped people again, looking to pick tops. And look at what happens, and then it takes off again, and the trend really starts up again. But when you've had a trend this long, for this long, this strong and this long, when you get a break, you're going to get a retest, and it's probably going to get a new high, and it may be 2 legs too. So, but notice you got this little trend working down. First entry, close outside that little trend line, move to a new low, and a second entry long. Look how bullish that bar is. All these shorts started jumping on here thinking, oh, I'm going to pick this top and I'm going to make some money, and they just get burned. Just go along there, and then it pulls back again right here. This, look how it pushes through the EMA, pulls back once, tries to go higher again, pulls back twice. So even though you don't see a break lower there, it's kind of a double test, and it's still a little bit of a reversal pattern. It's not perfect, but it's still there, and this is a strong trend. We're probably going higher. So that's a no-brainer there. And then you actually get your failed second entry short right here, the true one on this chart, and you've really got two legs up, and so you guarantee they're going to trap some more shorts here. And it does, and this is the third touch of that trend line off those first couple swings there, and it bounces right off of. Just go long there, and you get another nice move up, and that takes you into the 2 o'clock hour. So you only got to catch one or two of these, especially if you're using runners. And when you start seeing it move like this, try to get you a runner, because a lot of times it just takes off and it never comes back. And so it's easier to get runners on days like these. Are the days you definitely want to try to get a runner, because if you just take one trade down here and you get one runner, let's just say you went in with two contracts and you get one scout for a point, and then you get a runner that might get 5, 6, 7, 8, 10 points here. And so you don't need a lot of trades to still make some pretty good money. And if you are trading multiple contracts, and you can just start doing the multiplication and do the math yourself, and you can see how it doesn't take long to have a really good day with only taking a trade, maybe two. So anyway, great day, a nice way to end the week. But we'll be back again to do it Monday. Hope you had a great week. Hope you have a great weekend, and I'll see you Monday. This is Mack with PriceActionTradingSystem.com, and we'll see you next time.